everybody. I am doing something different. I'm actually going to attempt to do a off the board with pineapple papers. And this time I am doing it because I found this really cool Pinterest um, page by Linda Crust. It is obviously a traveler's notebook page, and it's a black and white of her, I assume, son, and then some little banners on the right side with words on the left side. I'll have it right here so you can see it. And I just really wanted to recreate that with my girls. Um, I saw that page and I thought this would be amazing. So, what I'm going to do is take some of my scraps. I have a bunch of scraps here. I have a black and white photo of my daughters. I have a 49 market frame. I have a black page. I have a white piece of paper on the bottom, and I'm going to cut out tabs. And then to recreate the writing, she has a bunch of word phrases on the left above her photo. I'm going to stamp. I found a bunch of my old Heidi Swap stamps, and I'm going to just stamp some words in black above that on the left hand side of the layout. Probably going to put this film strip down as kind of a divider. She has kind of the natural page divide, but because I'm going to do this on a 12 by 12. And finally, she has some really cute kind of doodling around both the tags and around the edge of the page that I will try to replicate. So hopefully you will hang with me as I do this, and I will put you on fast forward and you can watch it come together. So this comes together rather easily, but it takes a long time. So I have put you on about 5 times speed. So you're watching me do this very quickly because it is a lot of the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to talk you through my thought process, and then hopefully you will kind of see what I did. The first of which is I wanted to mimic what she did in her layout, which was I wanted a black and white photo, and I really wanted a black frame. I wanted that to kind of pop on the page. And I wanted this white background. Now, in my head, I wanted something to anchor the banners. So I have this film strip. It's see-through, so it's not taking away from kind of the openness of the page. I put it about on, I would say, the 4-inch mark so that I'm kind of cutting the page in a third. And then I went through my scraps and I started with really that teal paper you're seeing right there. And it has pinks and maroons, and it has some browns and some oranges. And I pulled all the colors that were in that teal paper that had the circles. And that is what I ended up doing to just, and some of them, like this is a door paper from a house paper I had. I have a couple of maroon kind of solids. You'll see all this teal paper I have there at the bottom with the stars. I end up not using that because it's just a little too bright. But everything else I'm just going to use, and I'm going to lay them out here, and I'm trying to cover up everything. I know I'm going to be able to cut these up, but I just want to make sure that I have enough kind of to make the banners. And the first thing I'm going to do is just start cutting the banners up. And I start by using my trimmer and measuring. And then I realize I don't have to measure. I'm just going to cut these, kind of eyeball them and make them work. There was a couple of them that have to go a certain direction, like the doors and the text. The other thing I'm going to do is, much like she did, is I'm going to outline every one of these around the edge with a black pen to kind of make them stand out. So I'm leaving enough room on the bottom and the top to do the doodling around the edges that she had of the page. But when I say this is a lot of repeating over and over again, this is a lot of repeating over and over again. However, it really has a big statement. So what I hope that you take away from doing this or looking at this page is that I have zero. I have paper and I have stamps, and then I'm going to have a few letter stickers with the title, and that's it. And that's not much more than she has on hers. I think the letter sticker, she had the word awesome. You do not need all of the embellishments to have your page make a huge impact. The obviously the film strip banner that I did, you could have done with a strip of paper, but this is just using up the paper in my collections. I you'll hear me say when we finish this is maybe one of my absolute favorite layouts I've done this year, for sure this year, but in a long time. And it's not just because it's of my girls, which does make it rather special for me, but it's just because it felt like I was kind of returning to what I used to do all the time, which is kind of get out some paper, put it together, mix and match collections, find the similar colors, and kind of play with my scraps. So this was super fun for me. I loved everything about it. And when I got to the end and I looked at how this banners looked, and I realized that it was probably 5 or 6 different collections, things that should never have gone together, and it just looked so fun. I'm going to put the title of Sisters. She has the word awesome. I'm putting the title Sisters because those are my babies and they are sisters. And then I'm going to do the next thing that for me was one of the funnest parts of this. For a long time, I was a member of the Heidi Swap stamp group, like the subscription, and I got all these different stamps and I loved them and I played with them. And then I stopped doing the kind of journaling and kind of week in the life stuff in a journal that I used to do, but I have all these stamps and I just haven't played with them. And the thing that I love most is they're all words. And if you've been following along my channel long enough, you know I am a sucker for words. I love word stamps. I love word stickers. I love having words on my scrapbook page, not just by journaling, but actually like the words that I write. So I'm going to read to you all the different words that I stamped, and I'm going to go from the bottom up, so you're kind of seeing it in the same way I'm stamping it. But it says, smiles are free, perfect is boring, be nice to people, work hard, family is everything, we've always got each other, girl power, you call it chaos, we call it family, never let anyone dull your sparkle, born to shine, collecting memories, unstoppable, you can change the world, every picture tells a story, be you bravely, be a seeker of everyday magic, and love. And every one of these words tells a story. And I think that's the most important thing is as you're looking at this, the words aren't a cohesive paragraph or cohesive sentence, but they're kind of like a story unto themselves. And they're the things that I want for my children. They're the things that I want to say to them. They're the things that they make me think when I see a picture of them. So I just thought this was kind of the most perfect way to kind of have journaling, if you want to call it that. And then on her layout, she had these cute little dots, stars, and I added from one of the stamp sets a little sparkle. And then I wanted a little color. She has the red on there, and I went and I found the red, which happened to be fired brick, that was the same as the maroon. And one of the stamp sets had hearts, so I put 3 hearts in kind of strategically around the journaling. And then the last thing she did is she doodled all around the outside of the page. So I am taking a heart that is an outline of a heart, and I'm putting a couple of them or 3 of them on each side, and I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to connect those hearts with some doodles around the outside of the page. I'm going to come back in a second and talk to you, but I can honestly tell you this layout makes me happy. I am so glad I decided randomly to do off the boards with pineapple paper, and I hope you'll join me next month when hopefully I'm back again. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye. Okay, so this may be one of the best layouts or my favorite layouts I've ever done. I love all the stamping. I love that it doesn't have a lot of embellishments. I love the little paper. I love the fact that I got to use my leftover scraps. I'm so glad I found this on Pinterest. Thank you so much, Linda. And hopefully you guys can find something on the board that you can lift. Thanks, everybody.